Now, in this particular session, we are going to discuss our instruction formats. We know that an instruction consists of multiple bits. Okay, so many bits are there in an instruction, but each and every bit may have the dedicated or same purposes with the other bits. That means all these bits will be grouped or categorized into multiple bits, and each and every category or each and every block of bits will be having some dedicated purpose. So, for that I must be knowing what is the instruction format. So, now if I want to define this instruction format, I have written the definition. It defines the layout of the bits of an instruction. An instruction format must include an opcode. What is the opcode? Opcode means instruction, that is add, mul, div, say increment, decrement, sub. These are the opcodes. Opcode means instruction, operation code. And 0 or more operands. What is the meaning of the term operand? Operand means data on which these opcodes or instructions will be working. So, they will be called as operands. In one or more in the addressing modes. So, these operands can be accessed in different addressing modes. In our separate video lecture on addressing modes, we have discussed what are the different addressing modes are possible to get one data to be operated by one opcode. So, that is known as the instruction format. So, now this instruction format has got multiple other aspects. One aspect is number of addressing modes. A particular architecture can have different addressing modes, and depending upon the varieties of the addressing modes which it can support, that may also decide the number of bits existing in one instruction. And number of operands, we know that each and every instruction must have at least commonly for the binary operations it should have two operands. Sometimes it may be having one operand. In case of increment or decrement, it is a unary instruction, so it will be having one operand. So, how many operands are there? Two operands or more than two or one. So, that will also decide the number of bits required in the instruction format. Next one is the register or memory. We know that memory is a huge space and registers are few in quantity in a CPU. So, if it is getting data from the registers, in the instruction we will be having fewer bits to denote the register number, but if it is memory referencing, then obviously the instruction will be having multiple number of bits, larger number of bits to denote the memory location address. Next one is your address range. Depending upon the range of the memory location, the number of bits, how many bits are required to denote one memory location's address will be decided. In our other videos, we have told you that in case of 64G giga memory, we require 2 to the power of 6, that is 64. Giga means 2 to the power of 30, that means 2 to the power of 36 number of bits are required for the referencing of 1 giga memory space. So, if it is 2 giga, obviously the number of bits required will be lesser in the instruction format. And next we are having the address granularity. We are having the address granularity. Okay, before this address granularity, let me discuss this number of register set. Let us suppose particular architecture is having say 16 registers. So, to have that unique numbering, I will be requiring only 4 bits, because 4 bits can have 16 combinations. But let us suppose we are having 32 registers, and in case of RISC architecture, we are having the large register file where we are having the large number of registers. Then obviously, if the registered number is getting increased, then number of bits required to represent one register will be also increasing. The last topic is the address granularity. That is a very important, interesting term. What is the address granularity? Let us suppose each and every location is containing 1 byte of information, but whenever you are reading a data, it will be of the size of 32 bits. Then what is happening? When you are performing read operation, 32-bit read from the memory location, actually it is reading 4 consecutive locations content, 8 bits into 4 contents, in the 4 locations 32 bits. So, that is known as the address granularity. So I have discussed each and every point, that is the number of addressing modes. If the addressing modes is number of bits is increasing, then obviously number of bits required will be also increasing. Number of operands, if it is increasing, then number of bits will be also increasing. If the operands are in registers, might be represented using fewer bits, but for memory huge number of bits will be there. Number of register set, depending upon the huge number of register sets, to have the unique code for each and every register, multiple bits will be required. Address range, when it is increasing, the number of bits will be required more for each and every unique identification of the location in the computer's memory. And address granularity, that means I am reading 32 bits of information from a memory where each and every location is containing 1 byte of information. That means each and every memory read is actually doing 4 memory locations content read. So that is the address granularity. Now these instruction classifications are there. We are having, these are the instruction classes. One is the 3 address instruction format. 3 address instruction format. Let us suppose, let it be as an example, I can consider add R1, R2, R3 means what? Means R1 is equal to R2 plus R3. If I go on writing it in comment, so R1 will be initialized with R2 plus R3. And we can not only the registers, we can also have the memory variables. So let the variables name be A, B and C. So add A, B, C means I can write in this way, that is M of A will be initialized with memory content reserved for the variable B plus memory content reserved for the variable C. So that might be the 3 address instruction format examples. Now we are having 2 address instruction format. In case of 2 address instruction format, we are having add R1, R2 or add A, B. What is R1, R2? So add R1, R2 means we are doing in this way, that is R1 here is working as a source register. Along with that, the R1 is working as a target register. R2 is working only as a source register. Instead of having this R1 and R2, we can also have memory variables like A and B. So in this way, the same thing, memory content of A must be initialized with the memory content of A plus memory content of B. So that can be done. One and half address instruction, that is very interesting. 1.5 address instruction. Here you see, here we are having some homogeneous in the operand referencing, either both registers or both variables. But here we are having one register and one variable. So it is a special kind of addressing modes, that is one register and one variable, and it is known as, in the instruction classification, known as 1.5 address instruction. So obviously it can be represented in this way. R1 is equal to R1 plus memory content for the variable B. One address instruction, add R1. After instruction, we are having 3 addresses, 3 address classification. After instruction, 2 addresses, 2 address classification. After instruction, 2 addresses, but one register, one variable, 1.5. After instruction, only one address, so one address instruction. What does it mean? It means that accumulator will be holding one of the other operands, because you know that addition is a binary operation. Always it requires 2 operands to be operated on. Here I have mentioned one of them in the register R1, but what about the other one? What about the other one? The other one will be kept by default in the accumulator. So accumulator will be initialized with the accumulator's current content plus R1 register's content. 0 address instruction, after this add, I am not writing anything, I am just writing add. But add requires 2 operands. From where it will get? It will get those 2 operands from the top 2 locations of the stack. You know that in our other videos we have discussed that in case of computer architecture, if you go for pop operation, the stack pointer will be increased. For push operation, the stack pointer will be decreased. So topmost two values of the stack will be two operands and they are going to get added. So one is the stack pointer's content. Stack pointers is pointing to a memory location, that location's content, and other operand is stack pointer plus 1, that means the next location's content it will be fetched, and that is the example of zero address instruction. In case of zero address instruction, topmost two data fetching from the stack by the pop operations will be taken for this particular operation add, and they will be added and result will be stored on the top of the stack back again. So this is my instruction formats, and these are the aspects. In the next video, we are going to show you, let me implement one example in 3 or 4 different instruction formats that will clear up your doubts. So please watch the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Thank you.